I don't know. I don't talk to Roger no more. So I don't know. I won't
Since
talk
then?
to him.
Los Angeles, Thursday morning, Raja Jackson, the son of Rampage, is sitting in the county cooler. The paperwork says felony. Bail is set at $50,000. TMZ sounded the siren first. Of course, because if there's a hint of flashing lights anywhere, TMZ sniffs it out like a truffle hound. The name pulls, the cuffs click, and suddenly the streamer with a bonus last name turns into a headline. The scene? Shocked but not surprised. And here's where it gets absurd. Everything's big, everything's loud, but the receipts are still missing. What's behind it is even more absurd. Alright, the scene plays Internet Sherlock. Instead of trusting the TMZ alarm, eyes go where it hurts. Inmate and court records. And look at that, Raja Jackson, born in 2000, actually booked status in custody. No speculation, a real data entry. TMZ? Loud, fast, but without a paper trail image. No docket screenshot, no case number. While the timeline boils, the official record provides the dry, cold confirmation. Arrested, period. Just think about it. The name Jackson makes noise everywhere, but the final gong is struck by a stark line in a government database. And now one question burns. If it was so clear, why did it take so long? The live stream almost makes it official by accident. He announces it and then does it live. The second half isn't a show, it's a rolling chain of evidence with a mic attached. Zero fog, zero taken out of context. He talks, then he acts, and the internet gets front row seats. That's exactly why it feels premeditated. Not a heat of the moment snap, not a fluke. Go through it frame by frame, and the timeline basically screams for an immediate arrest. Instead, hours passed, memes were born, clips were edited, and only then did the cuffs click. And now it gets interesting, because at this point it's all about the exact charges. Which category? How severe? What intent will the DA read into it? It's about to get specific. The record states it plainly. One felony. Nothing more on the page. But the range is brutal. Depending on how the DA reads intent, this could file anywhere from felony battery up to attempted murder. Same scene, different lens, and suddenly we're talking about entirely different years on the odometer. Reality check part 2. $50,000 bail sounds monstrous, but in practice it's often bond plus paperwork. Talk to a bondsman. Pay the percentage. Out faster than Twitter can build the next thread. Cynical but true. If you can pay, you usually only see the cell in passing. And now it gets personal, because at this point Rampage flips on the light with a statement that says more about expectations than about parenting. You're about to hear him verbatim.
Rogers and his oldest son whole life, I knew them two wasn't going to college. And my two Japanese kids, I knew they was going to college. So I saved up college tuition for the two Japanese kids and bail money for Roger and his brother. So don't fuck with him. If you go to jail, I'm just going to bail him out.
Just imagine, college fund? Nope. Bail piggy bank. A family system shipped with a built-in emergency exit as if county checkout were an annual holiday. That's not a slip-up, that sounds like a plan. And that's where the story tips. If the return ticket from jail is pre-financed, how much does anything actually deter? Soft reality meets hard system, and the career. That supposed golden ticket just fell down the drain. What's left is the big question. What consequence will the justice system hang on this story? And whether the VIP last name lowers the fall or raises it dramatically. Moving on. Born under the spotlight, instant reach because the last name already prints clicks. Streams, guests, access, served on a silver platter. And yet, athletically average, unpolished as an entertainer, but the doors were open. Instead of training, mentors, a level up, clout fuel on the fire. Every misstep became content, every warning a meme. You get a fast lane handed to you, and still go full speed into the ditch. That's not bad luck, that's a choice. The bitter punchline, chances were abundant, the golden ticket was within reach, and got traded for a few viral minutes. Advance becomes a sledgehammer, and that's why only one variable matters now. Not the name, not the clicks, what's on the charge sheet, and how hard the hammer drops. That's the only scoreboard you can't talk your way around. Okay, how many years realistically on the clock? Time to do the math. This is where the game gets serious. With one felony, the range runs from, okay, that's a couple of years on probation, up to multiple years of state time, depending on whether the DA reads intent or gross negligence. In the harshest interpretation, it lands quickly in attempted murder territory, and then we're not talking calendars anymore. We're talking careers. The sober math, felony battery alone can sideline you solidly. If the classification escalates, the number grows. Exponential, not additive. The text floats a ballpark around 9 years as fair. Not as revenge, but as a signal. IRL content is not a free pass. chaos. And that's the crux. Many see the perfect chance to make an example, not just punishment, but a lesson for a scene that thinks live streams grant immunity. Turn the page, because now comes the culture diagnosis. IRL streamers out of control. The IRL space runs like a reward system with no breaks. The more extreme the stunt, the louder the algorithm claps. Boundaries, tested like microphones, check 1, 2. What used to mean grounding is now a content arc. Audiences get used to chaos. Creators confuse attention with absolution. That's why this case feels textbook. The stream supplies the drama, the docket delivers the consequence. No misunderstanding, no smoke bombs. If this ends without serious fallout, it sends the signal. Go louder, not better. And that's exactly the kind of message that produces the next escalation. Tragic, but not surprising, a culture that worships clout eventually gets the bill in all caps. The open question remains, will the system hit the reset button or just tap pause? And while the scene debates, Rampage himself supplies material for the footnotes, because his behavior after the incident doesn't make the picture prettier. After the incident, you'd expect family mode. Instead, the camera kept rolling. New streams, new programming, as if the timeline mattered more than the living room conversation. Distance instead of direction. Raja on his own. Dad publicly busy. It feels less like leadership, more like man-child raises man-child. Show over substance. That's where the image finally flips. When the outward image takes priority, the inside is left with a void. It's this mix of ego branding and looking away that makes the whole thing bigger than just one bad decision on a live stream. And then comes the moment that sums it all up. On camera, no filter, no PR glossary. A line drops that feels like a full stop.
I don't know. I don't talk to Roger no more. So I don't know.
Since then?
Well, this line lands like a liver shot. Silence as a statement, and suddenly it feels less like a family drama, more like a cold status update. No umbrella, no course correction, just distance. From here, the records speak, not the camera. And that's what makes the story bigger than one clip. Father and son, the fame filter, consequences with no cuts. What's behind it is even more absurd, because the next name in the MMA orbit is already lined up, and you won't believe it. If you want to stay on the timeline, you know what to do. Drop a like, hit follow, so the next bomb in the UFC/MMA universe doesn't catch you sleeping.